It's the truth about parenting.
Something needs to be real for us.
The truth is in the raw things that people don't talk about. This journey is not for the weak. Welcome to the Mama Jack podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mama Jack podcast. This is season 2. Season 2. This is my next chapter, and I am so excited. I have video now. For those of you listening, you can also find me on YouTube. Just search the Mama Jack. I come up. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my healing process. I went into it a little bit in season 1, but it's been a year. A lot happens in a year. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. Let's just dive right into it. I just wanted to say healing is a lifelong process. We start out with the hard stuff, and then we dig deeper and we get to know ourselves, and it becomes this beautiful blossoming thing. And this is a parenting podcast. Why am I talking about this? It's because we reflect in our parenting what's inside of us. So healing from past traumas, healing yourself from triggering issues, healing yourself from all these things can make you more patient in parenting. It can make you more understanding. It just changes the whole game. Trust me. I've been going through this now for a year, and oh my goodness, the path has just been beautiful. Now, at the beginning of this, I was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, postpartum anxiety, PMDD, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, PTSD. How could I forget that special one? Okay, so I left off at the retreat last year. I had a huge awakening at this retreat. It was almost like a weight was lifted off my shoulders at that point. And I think the reason why that happened to me was at the retreat, I was able to be myself. I was able to leave behind mom and step into Jackie. So it was a big awakening for me, a huge spiritual awakening for me. And that's for another podcast, my dears. But yes, that started my awakening, and it was gorgeous. And I'm going to share with you the tools that I've learned through all of this and what's helped me get through this past year and grow and grow and grow. And man, looking back at my journal entries from last year, I was so lost and so confused. And I'm here to tell you that there are steps to make this better. There are steps to free your mind so you don't have to be trapped in those shadows. Oh my goodness, are there steps? So one of the first things that I did was I dug into my triggers. If you can remember, if not, go back, listen to postpartum depression 1, postpartum depression 2, my mental breakdown, my healing journey. They're all short podcasts in season 1. You can get a little bit more of a background on that. Me seeing where my triggers came from, that was a huge part of this healing journey. It is not easy. I was getting triggered by my kids. I realized that was my PTSD. PTSD, part of it is being in control. What do your kids do? You can't control your kids. I mean, to a point, but let's be honest. You can't control your kids, especially because I had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old at the time who are now 2 and 4. And my relationship with them has changed so much. But digging through my triggers, what other people like to call shadows, was a huge thing for me. I dug deep. I did shadow work journaling. I did journaling just through how I was feeling. I went back and reread that stuff. I reflected on that stuff. I thought to myself, how do I learn from this? How do I grow from this? Let's dig deeper. Dig, 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 dig. Where is the origin of this? That is where you find your freedom, when you can accept that origin. What helped me accept the origin, where I found my origin initially, was inner child meditation. That seems very scary to people. And I don't blame you. It can be very scary, especially if you have a lot of traumas in your childhood. But starting at the bottom and working your way up is how you get to understand the person you are today. And that's how I got to understand why I was being triggered by certain things and why I was getting so emotional in times that maybe weren't supposed to be so emotional, or, you know, learning how to calm myself down just by noticing, this is a trigger, Jackie. This is a trigger. You're being triggered right now. Even just stopping yourself and realizing that is a huge step in your journey to healing. Whenever you do inner child work, you learn to parent yourself. So a lot of times, and you could have the best childhood ever. Like, I didn't have a bad childhood, and when I dug deep, I learned that there were things that I wasn't getting that I needed. And so through the childhood meditation, those things were being brought up to me, and I was able to parent myself through them. I regained control of those situations by being there for myself. And when you realize that you can be there for yourself, it's nice to have a group of people to depend on, but it always seems as though when you need people the most is when they disappear. And I don't mean that to sound bad, but it's always like a moment of panic. I got to call this person. I got to call that person. Nobody's picking up. What do I do? Look in yourself. What is causing this emotion? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I so triggered? Where does this trigger come from? You're going to hear me say that a lot during this podcast, because it is super important to get to the foundation of this for yourself and for your healing journey. Journaling is huge. Journaling is huge. I'm going to say it again. Journaling is huge. You want to journal all of these things out. There's something about putting an actual pen to a piece of paper that makes your brain work in a different way, because you can go back and you can read it. Read it as if you're a friend reading somebody else's text messages. What are they going through? What would you say to this friend? What would you do to help them out? That's how you're going to help yourself. You need to be your best advocate. You need to be your best friend. You need to dig inside and learn how to love yourself to be able to heal. You need to get to know you. And a lot of people walk day to day thinking like, I know who I am. I know who I am. And when you ask them the questions, or if they're getting triggered, there's more to learn. There's always more to learn about ourselves. It's been a year. That's a very short journey for me. I still have years and years to come. Healing is a constant process. We're always going to have things that come up. We're always going to have things from the past come up, new things from the future that are going to happen that are out of our control that we need to heal from. And the more you get in tuned with yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to not totally crumble and break down in this moment. You're going to recognize your feelings. You're going to understand and give yourself space. Give yourself space. Give yourself grace to get through this. It is not an easy process to go through. It is a lot of hard work. Give yourself some grace. So I talked about reflecting in the journals. Reflect on what you wrote. I look back and I see what I wrote from a year ago, and I will share one with you now. I have my phone. It's Saturday, November 12th. I've been in this mental breakdown for a couple weeks now. I love my babies, but to be around them right now makes me depressed, and I want to be in bed. I'm on medication, and it seems a little better for a couple days, but here I am again, so depressed. I don't want to be out of bed. I don't want to eat. I have to use all of my might to do any normal, easy task. I am so burnt out. I just want this to go away and be in my past already. Hello. That is my past. I'm a different person. That was November 12th. It is in December right now of the next year. It doesn't have to be that far away. You choose the amount of work you can put into yourself. And even if it's 5 minutes a day journaling, even if it's 5 minutes a day, grab a shadow book, grab a shadow workbook. Oh my goodness, does that push you to work on so many things? And it brings up a lot, but it's good when you're feeling these emotions. It's good that you're feeling these emotions. It's good to get underneath these emotions. Where are they coming from? How can I help myself in this situation? Why am I feeling this way? Another huge step in my journey was opening myself up to a higher power. Now, everybody has their higher power, and if you don't, that's fine too. Make it yourself. But whenever you have something, whether it's through prayer, meditation, writing it down, to give away some of this bad energy, some of these intrusive thoughts, some of these, some days I wake up and I'm so lethargic. Just give it to somebody else. Give it to someone else. Give it to your higher power. Help me with this. It has totally changed my life to have that outlet. And I know some people might be like, oh, well, just, I have this huge problem. That's not going to do anything for me to give any of this up. Trust me, letting it go in that way is a start. It's a start. And it will take a little bit of the burden off of you. And you'll be amazed at how often you give this stuff away, how much it actually takes effect into your life, because you are thinking this into your reality. You are making this into your reality. You are becoming this person that is dropping all of these things out of your mind. And it is beautiful what starts to come up in its place. Through this past year, I have truly stepped into my life path and where I want to be. Finding your life path is a beautiful thing. It makes work not seem like work. Enjoying the journey through everything. Try to enjoy your life. What's holding you back from enjoying your life? People got to work. Sometimes you don't like your work. Is there one piece of it that you could pull out? Is there one thing that you could think about when you're going there? Even if it's time in the car listening to music, time in the car listening to podcasts, time to breathe in traffic on the way home. Start looking at things that you saw negatively in a lighter way. Traffic getting home. All you want to do is get home. But it's also, you could choose to think of it as a relaxing time. Do you like to sing? I do. Sing your heart out in traffic. Get all of that stuff out. Decompress from your day. Leave it all at the front door. Walk into your space, into your safe space, your home, wherever you're going, with all of that behind you, so you can show up the way you want to show up in your highest good once you walk through the door. It can be really hard sometimes, I know that. And a lot of times, even just calling somebody and venting on the phone as you go home, that's healing. Venting is healing. I wouldn't say like venting all the time. If you catch yourself venting a lot, I would sit back and reflect on that. Where is this leading me? Am I finding a solution to this? Can I find a solution to this? Is there something that could make this better for me? Am I missing something in this story that I need to recognize? That is a huge thing recognizing the issue. Again, those triggers, recognizing those triggers, those shadows that we all need to work through. All of us have them. Every single one of us have them. Not one person in this world does not have a trigger or shadow work that they could tend to. I promise you that. Even the people in the highest, realms, they're still working on themselves. It's a journey. It is a lifelong journey. And when you start it, it might seem like a never-ending process. 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, even if it's not journaling, even if it's just sitting in the shower and imagining everything wash off of you. Let the day wash off of you. If you're a morning shower person, let everything from the day before wash off of you. Start fresh in the morning. Even just that thought of letting it all go. Imagine it going down the drain. And you're going to be able to show up for yourself so much better, which in turn makes you show up for the people that you truly love and care about so much better, and with a much more open heart and with less judgment. And you can kind of see other people's way of thinking a little more clearly. If your spouse is having a bad day, you can give them space. You can hold space for them because you've held the space for yourself. You've filled your own cup. And what is super important is filling your own cup. Fill it, fill it, fill it, fill it, fill it as much as you can. Little increments throughout the day. What can I do to make myself laugh, to make myself smile? Is it a couple deep breaths? Am I at work and I'm super stressed and I just need to take a step outside or to the bathroom, which breathing deep in the bathroom might be a little risky for some people, but step outside, even if it's ice cold, and take a couple deep breaths and just feel it. Decompress yourself. Deep breathing is known to reset your brain and to calm your central nervous system. A lot of my healing stems around the quote, "It's not happening to you, it's happening for you." Now, I mentioned in my last season that I pulled the card, right, at the retreat. And oh my God, that's my podcast. I cannot tell you how much of a blessing it has been to have this podcast, to give people the outlet to talk about things, to have people understand and hear these things and be like, I'm not alone, or oh my goodness, she got through this, or this happened and they're doing great. And look at how their life turned around. It is so inspiring to have all of my guests. It is so inspiring for people to be reaching out and telling me like, I really resonated with this. This really helped me. I love hearing you speak the truth into things. I was so sick and tired of people sugarcoating everything. All of these Instagrams with the perfect parenting stuff. Like, I get it, okay? We all want this facade to look happy on the outside. And I shouldn't say we all, because I am not like that. If you look at my Instagram, a lot of times you'll see a cute picture of my kids and it'll be a description like, for instance, here's my son. I love him so much. I love him so much and he loves me so much that last night he came to snuggle with my husband and I, and he decided to pee our bed instead of his. If that's not a real parenting moment, I don't know what is, right? And sharing more of that stuff as much as you can really helps others relate, really helps others not feel so alone, because the glitz and glamour of everything, yay, Santa pictures are coming up now. It's December. Look at how cute. All the perfect family. They all have matching outfits. They all have this. It doesn't show before those matching outfits, the mother running around, the dad running around. Did you get the water? Did you get this? A booger wipe. We need to bring booger wipes. We need to do this. It's a crazy mess, but I'm telling you, finding the space within yourself to give yourself self-care, those situations go from like way up here to really high and elevated and stressful to like it starts going down. You start feeling less crazed in those moments. You start feeling more calm in those moments because you've held the space for yourself and you can gather yourself in a way like you haven't before. Maintaining my self-care, I do it every day. I wake up, I meditate, I read, I journal, I pull cards for myself. That's my own thing. That would be the equivalent to somebody that's religious reading a Bible verse, right? Or reading a book, a verse to whatever book that resonates with them, that they've been like religion wise, you've been journeying through for a part of your life, or it really means a lot to you. Looking for something to start your day, to move your frequency a little higher. That's where we want to get. We want to get our frequencies higher with all of this work. And as you start to pull all of this stuff out, it might feel like you're going lower, but trust me, what you're doing is leaving those lower frequencies behind you. You're getting rid of them. You are ridding yourself of them, and you are stepping into who you can be, who you are meant to be. And it is a beautiful thing. I've also been drawing and doing some movement, walking, running, yoga, stretching, whatever you feel called to do. Going out, working your ass off. I used to go to Orange Theory and I would kill myself in there and say, as my heart was racing, I was Care Bear staring to everybody. That was my like, get it all out. Sometimes I was literally the woman that would like cry on the treadmill, like have tears coming from my eyes, because all of my emotional things I would just cram into this session. And I would just be working myself so hard through those emotions that at the end of it, it's like a freeing thing for myself. I go home, I shower it all off, right? And I'm set for the day. This is a little bit of my healing journey. I am going to start another podcast about healing. That will be introduced in later episodes in this season, but we can look forward to that probably around summer of 2024, and I will release more details on that. I couldn't go into all the details of everything today because it would be a 2-hour long podcast. And I think that if you're ready to go into a journey of self-healing, then that space is going to be for you to learn and to help yourself even further. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. I love kicking this season off with this. And yes, parenting. It is hard. It is crazy. But the more we can pull ourselves in, the easier it's going to be on ourselves. When you're feeling stuck in a bottomless pit of just what is happening, I can't control anything in my life. My work is crazy. My kids are crazy. I'm going crazy. My husband's going crazy, or my wife's going crazy. It's like, stop. Take a breath. Let's break each thing down. What exactly is going on? Where do I need to work? And your journey starts there. Thank you so much for listening today. And welcome to season 2 of the Mama Jack's Parenting Podcast.
Welcome to the end of another episode of the Mama Jack Real Raw Parenting Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember, parenting is a journey filled with ups and downs, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. The Mama Jack Podcast is here to provide you with support, guidance, and real-life stories from fellow parents who are navigating the challenges of raising children. If you have any questions, topics you'd like me to cover, or stories you'd like to share, please reach out to me. I love hearing from my listeners and incorporating your experiences into future episodes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Podpage, all under the Mama Jack, TheMamaJac. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and together we can create a supportive community of real, raw parents. Stay tuned for more episodes filled with laughter, tears, and everything in between. Until next time, keep being the amazing parent that you are.